Your dress or my eyebrows? Where do we start?
We go to set recording on Zoom and I'm looking at Jesse and he's talking to me and I'm like, something different in my head. And all of a sudden I'm like, did you fill your eyebrows?
Yes, I did. And I was waiting to see if you'd notice. I was like, I'm going to use this pencil and fill them in because when I was in the boys in the band, we had to fill in our eyebrows on stage so that we'd be more expressive. And I feel like mine are really blonde in my old age. So I may have gone a little overboard. I look like Uncle Leo in Seinfeld.
Right. I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, I got to try different things. 1 week it's the lipstick, next it's the eyebrows.
I know you're a big fan of Schitt's Creek, but with your eyebrows out there, like, you're not going to get in with Dan and Eugene Levy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just trying to look like our old pal Johnny Novak.
Yeah, his aren't even perfectly manicured like yours are. Mine aren't shit.
Yeah, but your eyelashes look great.
Thank you.
Now, why are you wearing your dress backwards?
Because I was eating salsa and you know when you're about to do something and you tell yourself like, don't do it because this is what it's going to happen. That's what I did with the salsa. I said, why are you eating a salsa when you just put on this dress? You're going to get it on your dress.
So we were about to start recording. She's like, I'm not sure my dress is going to be ready in time. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like she's got a broken leg. She's doing laundry. I said, good for you. How'd you do it? By hand? Like thinking she's doing her own laundry now, so I don't have to. No, she's just eating salsa.
I know. I sent you a pic with like a giant wet stain on the front. And it's this tiny drop of salsa.
You said both your boobs were soaked. Like you must have just dunked it in. Did you just dip your boobs into the sink?
Pretty much. It's like a dress that has like a bibby thing that comes off to the shoulder. And I just took the bibby part and like put it underneath the tab.
What do you got to do? The show must go on.
Right. The show must go. Well, okay.
I have to know, what were you eating the salsa with?
Chips.
Oh, okay.
What else would you be eating?
I don't know. That's what, you never know with you. Kimchi, tuna.
By itself with a spoon.
Yeah. Gravy and salsa in a bowl. There's Jenna's lunch.
Kimchi kind of is like salsa.
Yeah, it's tomatoey, right?
It's made with it's made with cabbage. And like peppers and chilies. Yeah, that's from like the peppers and the chilies.
Yeah. Kimchi is what I'm crediting for you not catching the COVID from me. Because it's the only thing that you eat that I don't really eat.
I haven't had kimchi in my house forever though.
Oh, well, there's that.
Maybe I'm just far superior to you.
Yes, I think you are in many ways.
I'm excited today because we've got a letter.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's been a couple weeks.
It has. No, yeah. It's been long. I don't even remember what our last letter was.
I think it was the ghost. Was it Danielle? That might have been Danielle that came on with us to talk about the guy that ghosted her.
Yeah, the in-person letter. This one's actually, I feel like this happens more often than our generation thinks it happens.
Oh, sorry. I just want to correct myself. It was actually the my husband wants me to change my last name was our last letter.
Oh, and that one sent off some.
That made
some huge waves.
That's why I wanted to plug that one. It's a good episode.
Right. Okay. This one, yeah, like I said, this one, I think this is an issue that's way more common among people a little bit younger than us.
How much younger?
Like 10 years, 20s.
Okay.
It goes, the subject is my boyfriend set me up.
Oh, now right away, because you said boyfriend, I'm thinking set up like a bank heist set up.
Oh, I hope not. We'd have to like contact the police and stuff.
I hope it's not on a date, but yeah, you're right. Maybe the young people these days, they're freaky. The open relationships.
It says, hey, I feel like it's been a while since you guys gave some advice and those are my favorite episodes. Aw. It just doesn't say, and you guys give such great.
Yeah. They just advice.
Yeah. My life was pretty boring until recently. I've been dating my boyfriend for a year, and like most relationships, we've had our ups and downs. Most of our issues come from our lack of trust. At the beginning of our relationship, I caught him sending nudes to other women. I figured we worked through it. He hasn't done it for 6 months. And about 3 weeks ago, I got a text from a guy wait, sorry, I read that wrong. Yeah, sorry. At the beginning of our relationship, I caught him sending nudes to other women. I figured we worked through it. About 3 weeks ago, I got a text from a guy I used to talk to before I was with my boyfriend. It started off with, "Hey, how are you doing?" But then the text started to have a different tone.
Oh.
He started asking me a lot of personal and sexual questions. Kind of suspicious, I DM'd him on Instagram to see if it was actually him who was sending me texts. And he said, no,
Oh.
it wasn't him. For some reason, my gut told me it was my boyfriend. So I confronted him. He denied it, but then finally came clean and said that he was, quote, testing me to see if I would cheat, but then said that he trusts me. Should I really believe that he trusts me? Is this a sign that this this is over? Help. Thanks, catfished cutie.
Catfish by your own man. I think that's a sign not to trust his ass.
Yeah, I feel, I dated some pretty serial cheaters before.
Yeah.
And they would always accuse me of doing the things that I think they were doing.
Yeah, that's like a move, right? Totally.
And I used to always say to them, don't take your own insecurities out on me.
Yeah, it's the classic whoever smelt it dealt it.
Right.
In a lot of ways. This reminds me of something from MSN days. Do you remember there was a terrible website when we were in high school that was called like My Crush, or I don't remember what it was called, but basically it would be like you remember those quizzes that were such all the rage when we were kids, like find out what plant you are.
Right. They're still pretty popular on BuzzFeed.
Yeah, true. Yeah, like that.
We used to do them on the show in the morning all the time.
That's true. But I'm talking the originals. Like I can't remember one of the main websites. Doesn't matter. But anyway, there was one of these ones that you'd like send to your friends, and one of the questions was, "Who are your top 3 crushes?" And then it would send your answers back to whoever sent you the quiz. So shady, right? So you know me, I loved it in high school. I'd be sending it to everyone just to find out. Nobody had a crush on me. But yeah, that's what it kind of reminds me of, like what he's doing.
Don't you also think by they meant top 3 crushes, they meant like like if you could have anyone in the world, who would you have?
Oh,
like
probably
celebrity crushes.
See, that's when I was at the age where you're doing MASH and you'd pick the girls in your class. And
I think this relationship was doomed from the beginning. You guys were together. You caught him sending nudes. You can't trust him.
Well, wait, stop there. I want to ask you something as someone who was more recently than I in a relationship. When is that supposed to stop? Okay. Like, cause and maybe this is a gay man.
I think I like the exclusivity conversation.
Yeah. Like you can't be sexting with other people all of a sudden, what's the line there?
I think that's really hard to determine because with some guys, it is something you need to talk about probably. Whereas with other guys, it's not an issue. So in my opinion, you have to really evaluate it like according to the person you're dealing with.
So I guess it's like the old school version of, are we exclusive?
Yeah. Well, and I think it's something that is either you feel it, like it's a feeling, but sorry, my phone was ringing. But yeah, I don't know. I felt the need to bring that conversation up with certain men, and I have not felt the need to bring it up with others.
I feel like, it's quick to be like, don't trust him. He's maybe cheating and stuff, and maybe he is, but do you think there's a chance that he could just be genuinely curious? Like maybe he really likes this girl and he wanted to test her because he wants to feel safe.
But then there's no trust there to begin with. If you feel the need to actually test someone, that's like pretty extreme.
You're right. And I think it means you're already checked out in a lot of ways.
Right. And also different people have different beliefs when it comes to trust. Do you think trust is earned or do you think trust is lost?
Well, I don't understand that question. Is it earned or lost? Oh, like you start with a certain amount and it depletes.
Right. Or do you start with none and they gain your trust?
I've never heard that before. That's a really interesting thing.
But how do you give me your answer?
Well, I guess I have always felt that. Well, you always hear you earn trust, but in my experience, I go the other way. You give them the benefit of the doubt, and then
I give you all the trust that anyone should get, and then you do things to lose that trust.
You know, when I was in a relationship a long time ago, there was times when I could have tested him or I could have pulled certain strings, but I didn't want to know the answer. So there's an element of, at least for me, ignorance is bliss, but I wanted to trust this person. And I wanted to be in the relationship. Maybe I had my head in the sand, but I'm a bad example. But my point is, the fact that this guy acted on those suspicions and was like, I'm going to test this girl. Why couldn't you just be happy, like going about your life if you guys were happy?
This also scares me because that takes like a lot of effort and a lot of planning and stuff and lying. Most men don't even have the energy to go through with all of that. So
And
that shows me that this guy might have some personality traits that are a little psycho, or not
yeah,
psycho, but a little like sociopathic, or I don't know,
I
just,
know though, I know I can, narcissist, I don't know.
or he might be very controlling in the future.
Yeah. But what you said is right. They started out on the wrong foot. If the minute that they started dating, she's catching nudes from him, now he's suspicious. Like, this is just a mess.
Right.
Total mess. But I'd like to know what she said back. Like, because you mentioned now he said, oh, no, it's okay. I trust you. But like, how far did she go with her replies that made him be like, oh, it's okay that she's even answering at all?
Right.
You know,
But
like,
I don't think she's to blame at all in this situation. And I find it funny that he was the one to break trust in the
first.
beginning, and he's the one that still doesn't trust her.
Well, because he played this trick. So we don't believe what he said about, oh, it's okay, I
Right.
trust you.
What have you done to make him not trust you?
Yeah.
You know, she's done
Nothing
nothing from what I can see.
other than take this bait a little bit. So he created this own mess for himself.
He just smells like he's not trustworthy at all and not a good guy for you at
No,
this
yeah,
moment. You know, I'm
totally.
not saying he's a horrible person, but I
No.
just don't think he's the right guy for you right now at all.
Did she mention in the letter why or what the person said to get her attention?
Just reached out, texted, started texting. An ex came back and like was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And had a typical conversation you would have with someone you probably haven't talked to for a year. And then the text changed to be more personal questions. So probably started
Mm,
asking about the boyfriend and turned to like sexual.
I
I
see.
don't know. There's just something really icky that gives me a, like the girl no feeling about this guy and the way he went about it. I find it so creepy, in my opinion, for people to pose as other people and catfish
Catfish.
you.
Yeah. Have you been watching the latest season now? You know, the gray haired co-host
No.
is gone. It's a girl now. Um, I haven't been watching either, but apparently the episodes these days are totally off the charts. Like, because
Yeah.
people get right in catfish, and it's a mess.
Have you ever been catfished that you're aware of?
No, I've had people use my pictures, which I love.
I think I was catfished.
Oh yeah, actually, I'm lying to you. I was. Go ahead with yours first.
Did you fall for it though?
Totally. Yes.
Me
Yeah.
too. I was dating this guy. Similar story to what this letter is actually.
Oh my God.
I was dating this guy. We worked together. We broke up. I had a hard time letting go. I perfectly believe that. But then I started to like move on. And then I got emails from him being like, I don't like my girlfriend anymore. Even to go as detailed to talk about things that we talked about privately. You know,
Mm.
all these details. And even to go as far as to say, I'm going on a cruise with my girlfriend's family. So I can't break up with her before, but once it's over, like it went for a long time. And then all of a sudden I get a text from him being like, that's not me. It's over, blah, blah, blah. And then a text from the girlfriend being like, you crazy, blah, 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 blah. Stay away from him. I think it was the girlfriend the whole time.
I remember this story now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the girlfriend too. That makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
But it's similar, almost similar in a sense, kind of to what this letter is.
It was just a different person doing it. Yeah.
Well, and it's a person sending you these to try to trap you in something. Like he's trying to force you to cheat. Like, do you know what I mean? I would never in a million years ask my significant other or like want them to try. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what
I'm
I
having
mean. It's a
troubles expressing
self-fulfilling
myself.
prophecy. It falls under the category of be careful what you wish for because you created this now by giving her this bait.
And it's also like almost like self-inflicting pain on himself. Like, what are you going
Yeah.
to find out? What I mean, what's the point of this?
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's why he makes me kind of on edge, is because give me one reason why any of this was a good idea on his part, other than to mess with your emotions.
Yeah, it's like, and like, so she answered well, and she's not cheating or whatever. Now he's happy, but it's too late. It reminds me of in the witch trials when they would drown a woman and they'd be like, if she survives, she's a witch. And if she dies, she's not a witch. Well, she's
Right.
dead either way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. To
Yeah.
me, yeah, it's just, there's something, it's really manipulative.
Yes. Good word. That's what it is.
Very manipulative. And girl, you do not want to be with a man like that constantly plays mind tricks with you. It is
No.
not worth the time and the energy. So we don't usually tell people to dump someone on these
No.
letters, but I am telling you, run away.
Yeah, he does sound like one of those guys that would gaslight you, like in a fight, be like, call you stupid, and then be like, I didn't call you stupid, you
Right.
know?
Or just
Ugh.
do whatever he can to play with your emotions to the point where you probably lose so much self-esteem that he can control you. This to me is the beginning of what could be a very mentally abusive relationship.
Totally. And yeah, sometimes young people will do these sort of games, dating games, but you know, a mature man would not do this. I don't think.
No. The
No.
only reason I can see him doing it is because he wants to play with you. And maybe he feels not guilty, because I don't feel like this guy feels bad, but because he got caught for something, he wants you to get caught too. Because he tried to set you up for the exact
Ah,
same thing that he got caught doing.
you're right. So then he could be, and then it's a wash. He could never hold that over his head again.
Right. So if you
Totally.
do stay with him, don't like lose yourself. Stay true to like your morals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, my catfish story, again, back in the MSN days, but this was like, I was old enough to be like, you know, I was active. And so there was a guy I was chatting with named Brad Ross, and I don't even care because it's probably a fake name. He was
Totally a
this,
fake name.
I know, right? And a gay guy too. It's like the hottest country boy ever. And he was like a country boy working on the cars, and he had quite a few pictures. So at first I didn't suspect anything, but we had been chatting for like a couple years off and on, and he never updated his pictures on Facebook. He's probably still there. We should creep him when we're together next.
You
But
you talked to him for years?
yeah, but not every day. It was like once in a blue moon, you know, you sext and then you go on to the next person.
Until you
And
go through them all and start at the beginning again.
yeah. When in Ottawa. And so one day it would been gotten to a hot and heavy point where we were like, let's talk on the phone. And this was like you didn't video call back then. So we talked on the phone, and he had really hot, like straight guy voice, but it was almost too, hey man, like I was a little suspicious about the voice, but again, he was really hot. And so you want to believe sometimes when somebody's that gorgeous. And that was our last phone call because it freaked me out and I got suspicious. And after that phone call, I remember saying something like, how come you never update your pictures? And next thing I know, I was deleted off his Facebook.
There you
So
go.
I called him out. That sounded like it was going to have a bigger ending. I wish it did.
Did he
But
ever? Well, that's what catfishes do, though. As soon as they get caught, they scurry off and try to find someone else.
yeah. And because I was so young and the technology just wasn't there, I didn't send him any pictures of myself or anything like that. This was back in flip phone. Like I don't even think my phone had a camera on it.
Right.
So I'm thank God for that. Cause that's the other thing is that even on Grindr and these apps, people send their dicks around and it's like, you don't know who you're sending it to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think being catfished is a great way to start a relationship or to continue in a relationship.
And I hope this guy maybe listens to this or something and realizes how stupid he was, because it sounds like this is a pretty cool chick. And now you messed it up. You had her. She was your girlfriend. And then you went and then you did this.
That's why I see no motive for this other than manipulation.
Yeah. You know, I think sometimes people, but especially straight guys, need to get out of their own way, and they don't realize how good they have it until it's too late.
Amen. Ain't that the truth?
It is the truth.
That the truth.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So-
you can send us your letters, Jesse and Jenna's messy podcast at gmail.com. We're not doing much lately. So yeah, you can always reach us.
Yeah. Cheers, I guess.
Hopefully we saved her from getting into a shit relationship with years and years of stress.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Whenever we're about to end, I always think of something. Should she get him back?
No. Oh my God, Jesse, these are never the right answer. Never the right answer.
But just to, if like, let's say she listens to our good advice, her words. Oh, no, wait, she just said advice. But if she takes our advice and decides she's going to dump him, maybe it would give her peace of mind to try to get him back and see if he falls for your bait.
And so what? She sends him sex. What guy's going to turn those down trying to be another chick? And then he answers her. And then what? Like
Then she's
literally,
like, okay.
what are you accomplishing with?
Then you know that he's a pig and to dump him. But what if he says, no, I'm dating this wonderful girl. Thank you. I'm flattered, but no.
Still, he still tried to manipulate you and trap you.
That's true. He still lied. He's still lying. He lied.
Big time lying. Dump his ass, move on, and find a guy that's not going to pretend to be another guy and trick you into cheating on him. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
And while you're at it, stay away from guys named Brad Ross.
Yes, if you are on Facebook and you've been chatting with a guy named a cowboy named Brad Ross from the Valley. Was he from the Valley?
I'm gonna message him. Maybe I should message, be like, hey, remember me? Want to come on the podcast and talk about this thing? You never know.
Oh, all right. Oh, I guess I got
Cheers.
my water bottle again.
I've got my large glass of vodka.
Cheers. Send us your letters. That's not vodka, is it, right?
Yes.